Yes, welcome back, dear. Uh, in previous slides, just we have discussed about the type of tissue, that is plant tissue and the animal tissue. Here we can start plant tissue, that is meristematic tissue and the permanent tissue. Meristematic tissues are those tissue which are dividing in nature. They divide throughout the life and form new cells, but they divide in certain regions of the plants. Okay, and they increases the length, girth, width of the plant and are found in the root tip and shoot tip, that is in the growing areas of the plants. In the growing area of the plant means tip of the root and tip of the shoots. And new cells that are produced by the meristematic tissue are similar to the meristem. So meristematic tissues are those tissue which are dividing in nature, those who divides and helps a plant in the growth and development of the plant. Now, what are the characteristic features of this meristematic tissue? The characteristic features of the meristematic tissue, that is they are living, that's why they divide. They have dense cytoplasm and thin cellulose cell wall, because cell wall is made of the cellulose. They have prominent nucleus and they are quick dividing in nature. The cells need a dense cytoplasm and a soft cell wall for the cell division. So when the cell divides, the division of the cells takes place in the meristematic region. Again, just I am going to repeat, the plant tissue can be divided into meristematic tissue and the permanent tissue. Meristematic tissues are those tissue which divides and redivides continuously in the meristematic regions, that is in the root tip and the shoot tip. On the other hand, permanent tissues are those tissue which have lost the capacity to divide, means they are permanent, they do not divide, and after getting the permanent and specific shapes, they perform specific function. Here again, just come back to the meristematic tissue. The type of meristematic tissue on the basis of their location, means position where the type this meristematic tissue is present in the plants. So here you just see in the diagram, there are different regions. One region at the tip of the plant, that is shoot, apical meristem. Here you see the lateral meristem, and here just you see in the root apical meristem. Means in the three regions of the plant the meristematic tissue is present. So here again just come back here. So on the basis of the position, the type of meristematic tissue, that is apical meristematic tissue, intercalary meristematic tissue and lateral meristematic tissue. Apical meristematic tissue is present in the growing tips of the shoot and root, and lateral meristematic tissue is present in the sides of the stems and the roots, and intercalary meristematic tissue is present at the base or the leaves or the internodes. The point between the two nodes, that is known as internode. So node is a place from where branches come out. Node is a place where the leaves comes out from the stem. So that place is known as node, and the area or the place between the two nodes, that is known as internode. So here the intercalary meristematic tissue is present in the internode or at the base of the leaves, and lateral meristematic tissue is present on the sides of the leaves. Now come to the function of this meristematic tissue. As far as the apical meristematic tissue is present, it increases the length of the plant or height of the plant. The apical meristematic tissue, since it is present in the tip of the plant, that is root tip and shoot tip, so it helps to increase the height of the plant, means it helps in the primary growth. Second, there is the intercalary meristematic tissue, that is it increases the length of the plant like leaves and internodes, means it increases the length of the plant. And third one, that is lateral meristematic tissue, it helps to increase the diameter and girth of the plant. The lateral meristematic tissue helps a plant to increase the diameter or girth of the plant, means secondary growth takes place in the lateral meristematic tissue. And here just again I am showing you this diagram of the plant. Here you find at the tip, that is shoot tip, and the root tip, that is the apical meristematic tissue. In the middle, that is the lateral meristematic tissue, and this in between the node and internode, that is the intercalary meristematic tissue. Now, second, the permanent tissue. As I have told you earlier, the plant tissue can be divided into meristematic tissue and the permanent tissue. So here we have permanent tissue. The permanent tissue are those tissue which are permanent in nature, means that has arise from the meristematic tissue, but they have lost the capacity to divide, means they are matured, and since they are matured, they have lost the capacity to divide. It means they are not living cells, they are dead cells, and have definite shape, size and function, and may be dead or sometimes living also. The process by which cells arise from the meristematic tissue and take up a permanent tissue, that is called differentiation. The process by which the meristematic tissue converted into the permanent tissue in terms of the shape, size and function, that is known as differentiation or cell differentiation. Here again, just this is the flow chart in which you find the type of permanent tissue, that is simple permanent tissue and the complex permanent tissue. Simple permanent tissue, that is parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma, and complex permanent tissue, that is xylem and phloem. Here this is the chart in which you will find the difference between parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. Since this parenchyma is a living cells, so here it is present in the each and every parts of the plant, and collenchyma, this is also living cells, but here you find the sclerenchyma, this is the dead cells, this is not the living cells. So on the basis of the living and dead cells, they perform some function. Again, in parenchyma, the main function of parenchyma tissue is the storage. Sometimes it contains the chlorophyll, so it is known as chlorenchyma. And in aquatic plant, it contains air in it, so it is known as aerenchyma. This aerenchyma helps a plant to float or prove the buoyancy in the water, helps in the floating in the water. So parenchyma is the living cells. It has the intercellular spaces, the cells are living, thin, and sometimes it contains chlorophyll or chloroplast to prepare the food. So it also helps in the storage of the food, preparation and storage of the food. They have large intercellular space. In that intercellular space, sometimes air is filled up, so it is also known as aerenchyma. Just we come to the collenchyma here. Here in collenchyma, cells are also living, elongated and irregularly thick at the corners, and they are made up of cellulose or pectin. They have very less or no intercellular space. The intercellular space is very less as compared to the parenchymatous tissue. In parenchyma, they have lot of space between the cells, but here in between the cells, space is very less. It means they are compact. They have dense cytoplasm and has large vacuole. As far as the function of this collenchyma is concerned, it provides flexibility and mechanical support to the aerial parts of the plants. Means it provides the plant strength and rigidity to the plants and allow them to bend in different direction because it is flexible in nature. Here this collenchyma is found in the leaf stalks below the epidermis of the leaves and the stem. Now come to the sclerenchyma. As I said you earlier, the sclerenchyma is dead cells, so this is hard, narrow and thick walled. Since cells are dead, so there is no intercellular space at all. No intercellular space due to the higher deposition of the lignin. The lignin is present in the sclerenchymatous cells, due to which it is hard. The cells do not have nucleus because this is the dead cells. As far as the function of this sclerenchyma is concerned, since it is hard, dead and no intercellular space, so it provides rigidity and strength to the plant and it makes the plant strong. It is found in the stem, around the vascular bundles and sometimes in the veins of the leaf. In next slides we will see the extension of this tissue. Thank you.